Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey, this is Rob Malvagno, vocalist of Despyre, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Rock on.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I am your host, John the Bod, aka the Bodfather. As always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a huge privilege to welcome back my friend Rob Malvagno. He is the vocalist of Despyre. Despyre, hail from Suffolk County, Long Island, New York.
How you doing, man?
Doing awesome, brother. They have released their new album, Raza, which is out now via Pavement Entertainment. Also, this is the follow-up to their 2017 debut EP, Irritation, released also on Pavement Entertainment as well. So, glad to welcome back my friend. Very proud of them for what they've accomplished since that EP, since, 2017. Seems just like a blink of an eye, dude. Yeah, seems like a blink of an eye for you guys.
Yeah, it does. A lot has happened for the band as far as show touring and getting out there with other bands, and then the process again of recording and dealing with Pavement and Joey Z has been great. Everything's been great, though.
Last time I interviewed you, you guys were releasing your debut EP, Irritation. How's it been since that release for the band? Have there been any more opportunities that shed its light for you guys since that release?
Well, the first EP did exactly what we hoped it would, which is, put us on the board, get people to know that Despyre is out there. We didn't expect, like anything, even, with Pavement, that was kind of the goal. You didn't expect to, you never know, but we didn't expect to blow up, huge. We expected it to do exactly what it did, again, which was get us more opportunities, get us on the map, so people know who we are. It did enough that Pavement wanted us to do a second album with them. It got us some really great shows, playing with Michael Shanker and Jakey Lee, and we've definitely been getting a lot better caliber tour opportunities now. And we're noticing that from us going around and playing that we're actually starting to see more people in the audience who are there for us, in these areas that, we've never played. People are actually starting to sing some of the songs, and that's a big, when you're on stage and you see someone singing the words back, you're like, wow, man, people actually, they're listening. So in that aspect, it's been great. As a band, we've grown, which I think everybody will be able to hear on this new album. We touched on a lot of things to show, some of the depth of the band, but everything's been a positive. It's been on its way up, so can't ask for anything more.
What about Tim King? And of course, he's the basis of Soil. Let's talk about him, he owns Pavement Entertainment. What's he said about you guys from that EP till now to this album, if you've got to talk to him?
Well, he, when we sent it to them, Tim King and Mark Nawara, they were very pleased with the progression that we made. Once we sent it to them, we were kind of waiting, to hear what the label had to say, and it took a few. They're busy guys, so it took a few days. So right away we're like, oh my God, they hate it. Then all of a sudden we got an email and then a follow-up phone call, and Tim was like, absolutely love the CD. I have it in my car. I'm playing it all the time, and it's exactly where we think you should be. They listened to it and they decided on a single that they liked. They thought, which is DRU, and they basically, the way they kind of like think we're replacing, or we're not replacing, but we're going to be following in the realms of bands like a Hatebreed and from the East Coast over here. They kind of keep throwing that out, that our sound is between like a Testament and a Hatebreed, which I'll take that.
Sure. Oh God,
that's
yeah.
great.
Anyway, yeah.
But it's been positive from the label. They're pushing it a lot harder overseas for us this time, and they got a bigger radio campaign for us now. So I think we showed them that we're serious. We showed them that we're in this for the long haul, and I think that's why they like us, that we're hard workers, and they can see a future with the band.
So would it have been a tough choice to choose what song would have been the lead off of this album? Are you glad that they actually took reins and said, okay, let's go with this one?
As much for us, I think within the band, we need someone to step up on the outside to say it, because dealing with 5 guys in the band, man, it's like having 5 separate wives. It's a challenge, and none of us could ever agree. We all have different opinions on what should be single and why and who likes what. But the bottom line is, for the band, all those songs are kind of like your own children, I kind of like each one individually for their own reasons. I did have my idea of what the single would be, which I thought Regret would go. That was my choice. And, and a couple of the band members thought Liberate. But when the outsiders like Tim, who we value their opinion because, they're on the front lines. We're still trying to make some noise in this industry, so we value. When they came back and said DRU, they were like, it's catchy, it's got a punch to it, and it's definitely it screams what the band is about. We think it should be that, and we were like, all right, run with it, let's do it, because we like that song equally. To us, any song that they pick would have worked for us, but we value their opinion on it, and it helps us from fighting.
What's impressed you guys or excited you all the most about working on this new album, Rise Up, if anything? What's caught your eye the most about this one?
Well, I think, for me personally, it's musically, through my whole music career, I think it's my best effort as far as showing depth of what the band are. I mean, we consider us pure metal. That's where we feel we are. But this shows a lot of diversity, but yet simplicity. I know I've worked long and hard on a lot of the subject matter and things that are going on in my life, and as far as the lyrical content and what the meanings of the songs are. But for me, again, bringing Joey Z in, who co-produced this album as well, he knew exactly what we were looking for, and he knows exactly what to bring out and the sound of Despyre. So for us, I think it's a natural progression. The band grew musically together, as far as our live show. And I think the next one, which we started writing for, hopefully, is just going to even be another growth step for us. But I'm very proud of the diversity of this album.
And it's good that you're working with Johnny Z again from Life of Agony, because he worked with you guys on the debut EP. And he knows, like you said, he knows exactly what you want, and it's good to work with a familiar face. You don't have that pressure, but that's his name going out there as well.
Joey Z, is like a brother to us, and he, he definitely knew the sound, and he likes the band, which is great. And sure. The whole band, the whole Life of Agony band, loves us. They've helped us out tremendously. They took us out for some shows as direct support, and we actually were honored, because we're all Life of Agony fans. I've always been a Life of Agony fan, even before I met Joey. And we're honored that we came to them and asked permission to cover the song Underground, which is a Life of Agony tune from their River Runs Red album, that we wanted to put it on this album. And we got the blessing from the band. And what makes it really special is that this is the first time ever for even Joey and himself, who wrote the song, that he was able to be a part of another band covering their song, where he was the co-producer, he recorded it and engineered it.
That's awesome.
And we got the stamp of approval from the band Life of Agony they approved of how we did the song, and for us it was great, to honor him and playing something that, influenced us.
Especially when you're an independent band that gets signed to Pavement not too long ago, because 2017 is like a blink of an eye now.
Yeah.
And you're covering your band that you grew up listening to, that you loved.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's surreal.
Yeah, I mean, it goes in cycles. This is very fucking cool, man.
Yeah, it really, sometimes I got to step back, and I really haven't been able to, life is so busy, man, between your personal stuff and the things that are happening with the band. And sometimes, you don't take a step back to really look at the accomplishments, and how far we've come. And the bucket list and the accolades that we have done just by playing on stage with bands that I grew up listening to and sharing the stage with them and becoming friends with Joey Z and having him actually work, on our CDs and bring our music to life has been, if I have to stop now, I'm very happy. I've done stuff that a lot of people can't say they've done. So
yeah,
it's been a pleasure,
I wish, and I'm not knocking anybody out there right now, but I wish there were more people out there like you guys, especially you, just what you just said, for what you've accomplished. And if it would stop today or tomorrow, you'd be happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, life is a gift in general.
Yes.
Just to wake up every day, man. And that's what a lot of our lyrical content and where it comes from. Like I had just did another interview, and they asked me who my influences are. And I gave them a real kind of shocking answer, because a lot of people right away, everything is, heroes, entertainment, and actors, and to me, they're really not heroes, man. To me, influences are everyday people. To me, what influences me and gives me my spark to move forward and to write music and is the everyday heroes and the everyday people. To me, the single mom or the dad that goes out and works 20 hours a day and busts their ass to put food on the table and a roof over their head, these are everyday heroes, man. They get up every day, and just bust their ass to feed a family, and it's not about, playing in stadiums in front of millions of people and making millions of dollars. How are you a hero? To me, it's the everyday person, man. It's the military and the police officers and the people that save lives and put their own life in the way. And like I said, the single mom who's raising, children, who works 2 jobs. Those are heroes. The nurses that are in hospitals saving your life, doctors, those people are influences, and I think people need to look up and celebrate that. And if you're and find something like that, like an everyday people who's close to you. Sometimes these artists and like people in these other bands, they're almost like untouchable. So it's good to compare yourself to the everyday person, because you can look in your own self and say, wow, I can do that. I can be that person. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of like the lyrical content and stuff that I try to put across in my songs, to help the everyday person.
Yeah, it's not hard to be nice to somebody. If a simple hi can change a person's outlook on life. I mean, just a simple hello or hi or how you doing.
Yeah,
so
and that's the truth. I mean, in this day and age, things are so screwed up. I try not to get involved in the whole political thing, and everybody wants to protest something, man, and it's horrible. As an artist, whether you're a comedian or something, you can't be funny anymore. You got to worry about who you offend. I think people just need to take a step back and evaluate what they have, start looking at things for what it might be, comedy and or this and that, and don't be offended by everything. It just people need to lighten up on a lot of issues, and I think that's where we're missing the escape for music and why people get into this. As much as I want to be some huge rock star, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to become some kind of millionaire driving a Ferrari. I'm doing this because, one, it's therapy for myself. I can let a lot of my emotions out. And two, there's no greater satisfaction than having someone, especially at a band the level that we're at, having someone come up to me and say, yo, man, you guys gave me tears in my eyes when I listened to this song, or I got goosebumps. I can relate. Thank you. This song is great. To me, man, it's priceless, man.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you do it for.
When did you guys start writing for the new album? How soon did you guys start to write some stuff for this new album? Well,
we started almost when the first EP was released. We started writing. We unfortunately, because of the way the music business is and stuff, we don't always have the luxury and the time to just do nothing all day long and write music. So we have to do it as it comes to us, and sometimes it doesn't, we can't just lock ourselves in a room and write, in a month's time and have a whole album written. So the album actually took us some time. The whole process from writing to finishing recording took us about a year, So we started basically doing it almost when the other EP came out. Mm-hmm. We had ideas and we started placing them together, and and then about a year later the album came out.
Do you have any favorites, man, that stick out for you on this? I know this is like choosing your favorite child or woman or whatever, like you talked about earlier, but do you have any that stick out for you, possibly?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I have my 3 favorite songs on the album, I think, and they're kind of like my favorites to play, and I guess that mean the most to me are Regret, which I've always, that one is a great song, Twisted, and Blue Sky, Reborn. Those 3 are right up at the top of my favorite to play and that I give them the edge. And then actually Evil Inside is kind of right there, because another thing that's close to my heart is I'm a veteran, and Evil Inside is about PTSD, and what soldiers have to deal with when coming back. So those would be my top 4, but I would say.
Who did the cover art for the album, Rob? Who did this?
Okay, well, a gentleman that we've never met before. He is actually, and I'm not 100% sure. I'm not if he was from like Sweden or Saudi Arabia or something. Is an artist that we took a liking to one of his prints, and we called him up, or Kevin, I should say, was in contact. He took care of all the artwork. He found it, and he brought it to the band, and it was perfect for what we were trying to do with the whole Rise Up theme. And we talked to him about it. We told him all about the band. He heard the first CD, and then he gave us the rights. We kind of bought the rights to use his artwork, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I have to do my research again. It's on there somewhere in the liner notes. I don't have it in front of me, but that's how we did it, because if you look at the different covers, the first EP, Irritation, we were the new band, and if you look at all the hands that are undigging the earth and the Despyre logos coming out, that's our first EP. That's us exposing ourselves, coming out. It's the first time you're seeing us. We're getting dug up. And then this album, Rise Up, we've already made a mark, and you see now a body that's coming up and rising up from the earth, and and it's taking it to the next level. So we try to have a theme now with every album cover. And with the advances of the band.
Now, this band is still musically growing from where it started from. Is there anything about the musical growth up till now that you absolutely love about this band and where it's going? And has it just been a personal growth for all of you guys also? Yeah,
I mean, first of all, to me, if you don't grow in life with anything, if you're not open to new ideas and growing and trying to better yourself from the last effort, then it's just a waste to keep going, because then it's like Groundhog's Day, But I am happy with the progression. I mean, to me, I like the idea of showing, we've had a couple critics already say, they should just stay to the heavy stuff. And you know what? I love playing the heavy stuff, and that's great. But to me, part of being an artist or a musician is every one of our songs stay within the category of metal, but I like being able to show people, hey, we have a lighter side, we have a more musical side, because it helps me as an artist too. My emotions can't always be 100 miles an hour, in your face, knock you down. Sometimes a song might be you have to get your point across, you want to do something acoustic, you want to do something mid-tempo. So I like the growth progression that we're doing, and I think the next song, because some of the stuff that we're starting to write now for the new album, it's just the way it's happening is it's starting to be a little more aggressive and heavy, because we've also seen a lot of stuff and a lot more stuff been going on in our lives that just the tension levels are up, so the frustration is up, and that's just going to show on some of the new material that we're writing now. you know, and we kind of just go with it. But yes, I'm happy with the progression of the band. Personally, I'm happy with the progression of the band, but as I grow in this industry, I'm getting more of a distaste for the music industry. It's definitely not what you think once you get into it, and it's kind of real shitty, man, for new bands and you know, and bands that think that they could make this a career. It's really hard. You know, it's not easy, and it's unfortunately the people in the industry are what make it that way and make it not fun. You know, and it's not all their fault. It's the way technology has taken over music, and they have to reinvent themselves to figure out ways that they can make money. But in the long run, everyone around you makes money, but the artists themselves don't. So,
right.
You know, it's kind of disappointing, you know.
Is there anything you do differently during the writing and recording process to maybe help keep your mind fresh and open to not get bored and not let the music get stale? I know these are two concepts, but do you do anything, Rob, that allows you just to chill out some and not get bored?
Well, you know, the one thing I have to say is, which makes it frustrating for me, and the only thing I've learned about myself and all this in the recording and the writing process is the way I like to write is not to be pressured. Like, I just have to let it happen naturally. When I have an idea, I put it down, I go with it. I can't just lock myself in a room and say, oh, my God, I got to put a song out, because it comes out that's not how to write. That's not real emotion. So I've learned that the process that I need now is more of a slower process and let it come natural. And I think that's why I think you hear that more, and that's why people hear our music and be like, wow, they're pretty genuine, you know. We don't sound like, and I don't think so, and I've heard this from everybody else, we don't sound like anyone else. I mean, we have influences. You can hear different influences of bands, but in general, you know what a Despyre song, we have a sound, you know, and you listen to a lot of new bands that are out, and this is nothing taking away from them, but it's the whole, you can listen to liquid metal and listen to 10 bands, and after a while, they all sound the same. The recording style, they got like 15 layers of vocals and 30 layers of guitar tracks, and we go in and we just play the old-fashioned way, man. We plug into our amps. We record it that way. We want to give you the same product and be able to give it to you right from the CD live, you know, and we want people to be like, wow, they sound better, if not the same or better than the album. And but that's pretty much everything in a nutshell with that concept.
What can fans expect at a show from Despyre who have not saw you guys live as of yet? What are they going to get when they come to see you, Rob?
Well, what they're going to get is loud, in your face, just aggression, talent. I mean, we're not one of those bands that talks a lot. Like, we don't, you know, I don't go and sit there and talk in between songs. It's a show, and we want you to escape reality for whether we're up there as an opener for 30 minutes or we're doing a headline thing for an hour and 15. We want you to just be no time to breathe, right from the minute we get on the stage to when we get off. And I think if you don't like the band or you're not sure about the band just by listening to it, our albums don't do us justice from seeing us live. We are 10 times better, more aggressive live. And you know, that's what I get feedback from other people. Not that our stuff is bad on the CD. It's just, it's another level when you see us. You know, there's a lot of energy up there, and the songs come off really good, and they just hit you in the face.
You guys need to do a live album.
Yeah, you know, we actually kicked that around a little bit. You know, we were thinking about it, and the decision that we came to is we want to build a little bit more of a fan base, maybe after the next CD, which we've been kicking around. Like, we don't know yet the way the music industry goes, if we're going to do another EP or if we're going to just start releasing some singles or we're actually going to go for another full length. So we're trying to kick that around a little bit. But we were tossing around the idea of a live CD possibly in the mix of doing a third release. it would be in conjunction with. Like, we're not just going to release something live and not put out another CD, you know, maybe something mixed in there. But we definitely know that we wanted to build our fan base a little more.
Maybe like an old school double disc. You get the CD plus you get a live CD.
You get a couple bonus tracks live. Yeah. We were kicking that around too. That's a big thing going on right now.
Sure.
You know, like when people put bonus tracks on, so they do that a lot in Europe. You know, like if you get the European version, there's a couple bonus tracks. So we actually kick that around too. Like say, you know, maybe our bonus tracks will be live tracks.
Yeah.
You know, so, but yeah, we have some ideas floating around out there.
So what about the set list? Has it become a little challenging yet, possibly, or nah?
Yes, only because for everybody else, a lot of this stuff is new. You know, as we hit different cities and we're playing. For us, it's, you know, we've been playing these songs for a long time.
Sure.
You know, in the sets and switching them around. But what makes it fresh for us, and almost as if we're playing them for the first time, is that every time we go somewhere and we play it and we see the reaction of people who are hearing it for the first time, makes us feel like it's all fresh. Mm-hmm. You know, but the set lists themselves, you know, it's not that it's challenging in the sense where we're starting to see that we have to play certain songs in certain spots because that's just how it works. You know, we're not ones to kind of switch things around too much. You know, the only challenges I see as a singer is when I put the set list together, which I do, is where I'm at vocally for the night, or if I'm on tour and I'm playing for 2 weeks straight, you know, I have to kind of see where my health is vocally and make sure that I can pull off the songs. You know, I want to give the best I could. So if one night my vocals aren't strong or something and I want to, you know, place a heavier song, you know, towards the end of the set, or that's really the only challenge, I think. And not having enough time. When you're an opening band, you never have enough time on stage, because I would love to just play all of our songs all the time. But you don't always have that luxury, you know, so
yeah, something
has to be left out, and that sucks.
Yeah, you normally get, what, maybe 25, 30 minutes at the most?
Yeah, usually we've been lucky that I would say 95% of our sets are all, you know, as an opening act, 30-minute sets.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You know,
actually.
Which allows us about 6 to 7 songs that we can do, and we can pull off. You know, when we do our headlining shows, which we do have, when we do like some regional headlining stuff, we usually go up there for about an hour and 10, so we get to play a lot more stuff, you know. We've been lucky where we haven't ever been, because it's happened where people cut you off and throw you off the stage because either you're taking too much time, but we're pretty efficient. We have a crew that helps us. We get on the stage, we're ready to go, and we usually 98% of the time get our whole set in. So. Or
you're showing the other band up. Oh.
Yeah. Well, in my eyes, that's a good thing. That means you're doing something right.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So you got the EP out, plus now you've got the new album, Rise Up. Is there a country that stands out or shocks you that Despyre gets support from, or your music even gets played from these 2 EPs in their region, possibly?
You know, it's funny you say that, because we get stuff sent to us from the label, you know, that it's being played in such and such a region, or I think I'm shocked that since this CD has come out, we have been getting a lot more fan mail and stuff and compliments from overseas, which we didn't get with the first EP. You know, it's funny, and even some of the compliments we're starting to pull in from Midwest states that we haven't even played yet, and we were like, wow. So the music is getting out there, and that's something that I've seen a difference in. You know, I can't say just yet there's one particular place. I think in a whole, I think it's getting out to more people, and that to us is a positive note.
Folks, please get out and check out my friends in Despyre. Please pick up their EP, Irritation, that came out in 2017. Please get out and pick up their new album that's just released now called Rise Up. And this is all out on Pavement Entertainment. Rob, my brother, How can folks stay in touch with you guys? Tour dates, merchandise, how can they do that?
The best way to do it, because you can get all of our links to social media right through our website. Despyre.com, and DESPYRE.com. They have all our links to all our social media. You can get our merch, tour dates, check out what's going on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, everything right from there. And, I want to thank the people that already support us. Thank you very much. And also people like you, thank you. And turn us on to all the new supporters. Join the Rising. That's what we call our fan base, the Rising.
The pleasure's all mine. Trust me. Trust me. Before I let you go, Rob, would you care to do a promo for my show again?
Sure, of course. Hey, this is Rob Malvagno, vocalist of Despyre, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour. Rock on.
Everybody, please stick around. We got some great stuff coming up. You only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and check out our Facebook page. It has our YouTube link, podcast link, and soon, hopefully, our Twitch link. And I have to say this, and I'm not saying this just because Rob's on here. I'm very proud of Despyre from where they've came from what they've accomplished from their 2017 EP till now. And one cool thing, folks, they haven't forgot about me, and I sure as hell have not forgot about them. So
thank you, man. Thank you.
Rob,
appreciate it.
You guys are welcome on here anytime, and I wish you guys still the best of luck out there.
And you too, my brother.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.